Yeah, you know what it is.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. Purple and white, but you know what I mean. Double 11 senior year made history. Football, we took it to the playoffs. Collegeville, white and purple, yeah, we are the K-House. I said the K-House, the school of champions. We laugh a lot, we rap a lot. I'm asked to be an Indian again. I'm telling them that Collegeville is where it's at. So when we on the field of court, they better be aware of that. They scared of that. Of course, look at the ceiling. What up, Mr. Floyd? Yeah, it's Collegeville. And yeah, so glad to say that I'm a K-Hawk. I'm about to graduate. Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
White and purple, yeah, I know you see it. You see the chaos and you tell yourself you wanna be it. I go to CHS, so I am a champ. I ran this game so long I'm starting to get a stomach cramp. Class of 1, 2, but we're number 1. Shout out to all my juniors, yeah, you know we get it done. White and purple, you already know. It's little easy peasy and that boy lay low.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
I'm about my white and purple. Scarface and DJ Screw. We on the peak of the mountain, best at what we do. Yeah, we the champs, homie, but we ain't selling shoes. These boys bleeding purple, call us the chief and crew. They don't gotta do it big, cause I don't play with sports. I play my cards right. Now a good report. When Dub 12 comes, it's time to roll off. I'm the back cause everybody rolling with me, K-Hawks.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Look, all the freshmen, all the fresh college boys.
High school,
Juniors,
champions.
yeah, they know what it is.
All around my town, everything is
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
we shut it down for the school and the sports team.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
And a very good evening, everyone, and welcome to Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. We don't usually say that in the springtime, but here we are. Why are we here? Well, about a little history for you. We are about to watch our very first varsity boys volleyball game here at Collegeville High School. My name's Todd Duke, and welcome into the broadcast here on the Kahok Sports Network, and welcome into the pregame show tonight, brought to you by Chiropractic Works in Collegeville, owned and operated by Dr. Chris McCluskey. He and the folks at Chiropractic Works are focused on helping as many people as possible live high-quality lives all through chiropractic care and wellness. You can visit Dr. McCluskey at Chiropractic Works in Collegeville, 410 Regency Center, just off of the Beltline Road in Collegeville. Give them a call at 343-3602 or online, chiropracticworkscollegeville.com. All right, well, here we are at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, and your Collegeville boys volleyball team taking to the court right now for their very first warm-ups before their very first game, and they are taking on a team from Jackson, Missouri. Saxony Lutheran High School is the high school they play out of, and this is their very first year also playing boys volleyball on a varsity level, but they come in having already played one more game. So the Saxony Lutheran High School Crusaders are 1-0 on the year under their first-year head coach, Stephanie Brown. They opened up their season on Saturday, and they play over in Missouri. They played St. Francis Borgia, and over in Missouri, they have a little bit of different rules over in the Show Me State. Their boys volleyball has to go whoever wins the best of 5 sets. So whoever wins 3 first wins a matchup. Here in Illinois, the boys are the same as the girls. It's the best of 3. So whoever wins 2 sets first will win the match. And Saxony, they were victorious in their very first varsity boys game over St. Francis Borgia. They won the first set 25-23, a very close set. Won the second one 25-17. Dropped the next two 25-12, and another close one at 25-23. And then the fifth and tie-breaking set is only played to 15. And the Crusaders of Saxony Lutheran High School won that one 15-9. So congratulations to the Crusaders on their very first ever varsity win. Here, the JV team got to play last year, but no varsity team. This was delayed by a year. It was supposed to be 2020 was the year of the first JV game, and then 2021 we were supposed to transition over to varsity, but as we all know, the pandemic had other ideas, and everything got set back by a year. So the JV Kahawks, they went 11-5 last year, and they are off to a 1-0 start this year after they took care of the junior varsity club from Saxony Lutheran here just a little while ago. 25-7 was the first game. Collinsville had an 11-0 lead before the Crusaders got their first point. Ended up being 25-7, but the second game, that was a lot closer. I think the nervousness wore off of the Saxony Lutheran High School Crusaders, and they made a battle out of it, and it took a little bit of extra points to do it. Collinsville ended up holding on to win 28-26. So congratulations to the JV Kahawks. As we turn our attention now to our JV Crusaders, as we well, that was the Kahawks. As we turn our attention now to the varsity Kahawks, Mike Nichols is the very first coach in Collinsville boys volleyball program history. Last year was the first year of JV. He was the head coach of that team as well, and as I meant, they were 11-5 on the year. So I had a chance just a little while ago to catch up with Collinsville's newest head coach, Mike Nichols, and we'll pass that conversation on to you next as the Chiropractic Works pregame show continues here on the Kahawk
As the Director of Sports Medicine at Next Level Performance Institute, I oversee the care of all of our athletes, many high school, collegiate, and professional. Our goal is to help athletes stay on the field and maximize their performance. We have state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment where we can actually perform testing to get to the root cause of problems that could be getting in the way of athletic performance. When it comes to taking care of athletes, we take a full body approach, whether it's musculoskeletal ailments, nutritional issues, organic issues such as headaches, sinuses, digestive issues. We have advanced training to where we can remedy health issues and return that athlete to play as quickly as possible. If you or your athlete are dealing with any kind of nagging sports injury and would like to see if we can possibly help, feel free to give us a call or come by the office anytime.
Calling all sports fans. Looking for a great place to watch the game with your crew? Look no further than the Lucky Fox Sports Bar in Caseyville. The Lucky Fox shows Collinsville Kahawk sports on the big screen, plus UFC fights, boxing, Cardinals and Blues, and all of the NFL games with the NFL ticket and enough TVs that you'll be sure to find the game you want. And the food? How about Taco Tuesdays, Wing Wednesdays, plus burgers, sandwiches, pizza, steak, and more, including great drink specials and the coldest brew in town. And don't forget to try your luck at the Lucky Fox Gaming Room. Dine in and catch a game, or order carryout with the Lucky Fox. The Lucky Fox Sports Bar, 1101 Caseyville Road, right across the street from Kahawk Stadium. Open daily at 11 a.m. Check out the Lucky Fox Facebook page for daily specials. The Lucky Fox, 618-855-9500. Ogle Auctions in Collinsville, your place for online auctioning. Go to ogleauctions.com to check out the week's items up for auction. Ogle Auctions deals in everyday items like board games, t-shirts, clocks, antique items, and more. To collectible items, anyone in the market for, say, a trolley? Or maybe you're into more treasure troves like vinyl albums, cars, or motorcycles. And Ogle Auctions is always on the lookout for more auctionable items. Ogle Auctions of Collinsville, Auctions every Sunday at 7 p.m. Check them out at www.ogleauctions.com or call Kim or Mike Ogle at 618-218-2117. The people of Illinois welcome you. The folks in Collinsville, Illinois, well, they want you to stick around for a while and enjoy the sights, the fun, the food, and, of course, the Collinsville Kahawks. The city of Collinsville is a proud supporter of the Collinsville Unit 10 School District. So welcome to Collinsville. Come on over, catch a Kahawks game, or enjoy some of the new places to eat, shop, and have fun. There's plenty to do for the young and the young at heart. Enjoy Christmas at the Collins House during the holidays, tunes that bloom in the warm summer months, and more. There's plenty to do in Collinsville, so come on over for a bit. The folks in Collinsville would love to see you. For more information, go to www.collinsville.org.
At Chiropractic Works, our mission is to help as many people live as high quality of life for as long as possible without the use of drugs and surgery. We have state-of-the-art testing available to see if we think we might be able to help you with any health issues that you're dealing with. Whether it's neck pain, back pain, headache, sinus, allergies, numbness, tingling, shoulder, elbow, wrist, hip, knee, or ankle problems, we've helped many people solve these issues without the use of drugs and surgery. If you'd like to get to the root cause of your health problems, feel free to give us a call and schedule a consultation or a new patient exam to see if we think we might be able to help you.
And we welcome you back into the Chiropractic Works pregame show here on the Kahawk Sports Network. History, man. It's history time. Collinsville Kahawk boys volleyball team is going to take the floor for the very first time in the school's existence, and we're going to be here to tell you all about it and show it to you even. Collinsville's very first boys volleyball head coach is none other than Mike Nichols, and he joins us now on the Chiropractic Works pregame show. So does that turn butterflies in your stomach knowing you're the very first one?
I've got butterflies. I know the players got butterflies. It's great to finally get to a game and finally get a varsity team on the floor. It's been a long time coming.
I know that me personally, man, I go back in time and look at records and things like that for all the sports. You know, it's kind of cool when you're like the first basketball coach was in 1904 or something like that. And then you got all these long lines of guys behind him, man. Here in 100 years, somebody's going to look at those records and they're going to go, hey, man, Mike Nichols was the very first head coach. What does that mean to you?
It would be great if at some point my name was with Virgil Fletcher's name, but we got a long way to go before those two names are going to be put together.
All right, talk to me a little bit about your volleyball team and give me kind of an idea of the inception of the team and up to now. I know it's a lot more hard work than what it was supposed to be due to the pandemic, but kind of give us an idea of the journey.
Well, I graduated here in 04, and I would have loved the team to have happened when I was a student here. I interviewed here 7 years ago. I mentioned in that interview, are we ever going to get a boys volleyball team? We're the last team in the conference that doesn't have one. When Coach Smith became the athletic director, he finally got the ball rolling, got everybody on board. There was a lot of excitement a couple years ago. COVID canceled our first season, so it's been a little bit harder to drum up that excitement, but here we are, finally ready to go.
All right, tell me a little bit about the season leading up to the season, so to speak, the practice seasons, knowing that this is finally going to happen. Tell me a little bit about the intensity, the level of excitement, and everything leading up to this first game.
We've got kids that have never played volleyball before, so the talent level is across the board. Everybody has worked very hard for the last couple of weeks, and like I said, we're all very excited to put it all together tonight, see where we're at.
You were, of course, the assistant girls volleyball coach here for a long time. Are there any fundamental differences between the two sports, boys volleyball and girls volleyball, besides one's played by males and one's played by females?
Females tend to be more fundamental. They are better passers, better setters. The boys, it's a lot harder to teach them how to pass. Girls, there is a lot more girls interested in playing volleyball. I'm still trying to get the other athletes, the basketball players, the football players, trying to get them to come out and give volleyball a shot.
So they carry over some bad habits from those sports? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no, not at all. They just don't have any habits at all because they've never touched a volleyball before. So getting those guys to come out and give volleyball a try is the hardest thing. Once they're out on the court, they do a pretty good job.
All right, tell us a little bit about your team because we're coming in here blind, man. We don't know names for numbers or anything right now. So who are you leaning on? Who are your team leaders?
Adam Reiniger is going to be our setter along with Luke Geisen. Our big hitters on the outside are going to be Josh Zagorski and Carter Hollis. Playing middle for us is Eli Davidson and Jacob Zagorski. And then our libero tonight is going to be Joey Roque with Matt Falby playing a little defense also.
See, now I know Zagorski's because I do hockey. I know Reiniger because I do soccer, and I think you have a kid on the JV team that's one of the basketball players. So is it easier to coach guys that are athletes already and experienced with being coached by a coach in this school district, no matter what sport it is?
I feel like if you're athletic, you can be good at about any high school sport, and definitely transitions. Soccer players, a couple that I got, have really done well. Tyrone playing JV right now, but he's going to be a big part of our varsity roster. He came from the basketball team. Hopefully he can bring a couple more guys from the basketball team over next year because they would be a big help.
All right, so 2 more questions for you. One about their team, one about your team. What do you know, if anything, about Saxony Lutheran?
I know they're from Jackson, Missouri. Matt Falby actually they had a one match on Saturday. He actually found their game film, so I actually got to watch a little game film. I just appreciate that they traveled all the way here to play us tonight. 2-hour drive.
All right, final question. Your team. What do you want to see out of your team tonight?
I want to see lots of activity. Make sure they're working hard and putting on a good show for the fans.
Thanks for the visit, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Mike Nichols, your very first Collinsville Kahok varsity boys volleyball head coach. We'll take a break here on the Chiropractic Works pregame show. When we come back, we'll set the starters for each side for you, and anything else I can think of, we'll pass that along to you as well. All that and more coming up on the Kahok Sports Network.
At Chiropractic Works, our mission is to help as many people live as high quality of life for as long as possible without the use of drugs and surgery. We have state-of-the-art testing available to see if we think we might be able to help you with any health issues that you're dealing with. Whether it's neck pain, back pain, headache, sinus, allergies, numbness, tingling, shoulder, elbow, wrist, hip, knee, or ankle problems, we've helped many people solve these issues without the use of drugs and surgery. If you'd like to get to the root cause of your health problems, feel free to give us a call and schedule a consultation or a new patient exam to see if we think we might be able to help you.
Chapman Trucking, LLC. Chapman Trucking is a local Collinsville business owned and operated by 1994 Collinsville graduate Christy Chapman. With over 10 years of experience, Chapman Trucking, LLC can take care of all of the heavy lifting when it comes to hauling aggregate materials such as sand, driveway rock, dirt, boulders, and more. That includes getting your heavy work equipment to your work site where it needs to be. Give Christy a call for a free estimate at Chapman Trucking, LLC. 618-960-9346 or online at chapmantruckingllc.net.
First National Bank of Waterloo, with over 100 years serving the Metro East. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo at their Maryville and Collinsville locations for all of your banking, mortgage, and lending needs. Why? Super low closing costs, low construction loan rates, and they do so much to support our local communities. When you need a loan, call the Collinsville team at First National Bank of Waterloo at 618-345-1121 or visit their Maryville and Collinsville locations or online at fnbwaterloo.bank. First National Bank of Waterloo, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Projects in and around your home can be daunting and overwhelming. Take the stress out of those projects and let AW Indoor and Outdoor Solutions do all the heavy lifting. Former Kahok Adam Welly can help knock those projects off your list. From framing drywall, painting, and stair work inside to deck work, hardscapes, and concrete and retaining wall construction outside your home, including power washing and brush removal. Whatever the task, AW Indoor and Outdoor Solutions can help. Call Adam Welly for a free estimate at AW Indoor and Outdoor Solutions, 314-252-8010. That's 314-252-8010.
Just because you can cut your own hair doesn't mean you should. The Shop, a great place in Collinsville for men and boys haircuts, is where you should take your hair. The Shop is owned and operated by Collinsville High School graduates Danny Kress and Jody Neiman and is located at 103 South Seminary Street in Uptown Collinsville.
The shop isn't just another place to get a haircut, as Danny and Jody take great joy in getting to know their clients and look forward to turning those clients into friends. When you sit in a stylish chair at the shop, Jody and Danny pride themselves on getting to know you well enough to say, the usual? So, men and boys, if you're tired of the same old cookie-cutter approach to haircuts, check out Danny and Jody at the shop. You may just walk out with not only a fantastic cut, but you may also walk out with a friend. Or two. The shop in Collinsville, 618-772-7175. No appointment necessary. The shop, 103 South Seminary in Uptown Collinsville. Keep your ride shiny and clean with Extreme Details Vehicle Detailing in Collinsville. Extreme Details, owned and operated by former Kahok Jay Merkel. Jay and his crew at Extreme Details believe in the value of community and in helping their community hold the value of their vehicles with a sharp-looking, clean ride that you and your community can be proud of. Extreme Details can handle any job, whether you drive a small car, an SUV, or even a bus or an RV. No job is too big or too small at Extreme Details. Extreme Details offers scratch and oxidation removal, and they vacuum every vehicle regardless of what package you choose. Cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, and more. Plus, Extreme Details can handle fleet vehicles for your company. Call Jay and the gang at Extreme Details at 977-1224 or visit Extreme Details at 936 St. Louis Road in Collinsville. Check for periodic specials on the Extreme Details Facebook page. Put the shine in your ride with Extreme Details.
As the Director of Sports Medicine at Next Level Performance Institute, I oversee the care of all of our athletes, many high school, collegiate, and professional. Our goal is to help athletes stay on the field and maximize their performance. We have state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment where we can actually perform testing to get to the root cause of problems that could be getting in the way of athletic performance. When it comes to taking care of athletes, we take a full-body approach, whether it's musculoskeletal ailments, nutritional issues, organic issues such as headaches, sinuses, digestive issues. We have advanced training to where we can remedy health issues and return that athlete to play as quickly as possible. If you or your athlete are dealing with any kind of nagging sports injury and would like to see if we can possibly help, feel free to give us a call or come by the office anytime.
And once again, welcome back to Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium and the very first ever boys varsity volleyball game. I am Todd Duke, glad that I could be here with you for a little bit of history. So here we go. We'll give you starters for you. First, we'll begin with the Saxony Lutheran High School Crusaders. You will find on the floor Dalton France. He is a senior. He'll wear number 6. He's an outside hitter. The other outside hitter is Landon Oakes. He is a junior, wears number 16 on his back. Your middle blockers are senior Wade Eggemeyer, as well as Luke Eggemeyer. He is a sophomore, and of course they're related. The setter is Caden Meyer. He is a senior. Your outside hitter is Landon Oakes. He is a junior. Your right side hitter is Noah Smith. He's a junior, and the libero is Alex Siebel. And that rounds out the starters for Saxony. For your Collinsville Kahawks, the first ever varsity team they trot out onto the floor will look like this. Number 1, Joey Rauch. He is a junior. He is the libero for Collinsville. The setter is Adam Reiniger. Reiniger wears number 5 on his back. He's a sophomore. Defensive specialist is Matthew Falby. Falby is a junior and wears number 6. Got a couple of Zagorskis in here as well. Middle blocker Jacob Zagorski. He is a senior, and outside hitter Josh Zagorski, also a senior. And another middle backer is Elijah Davison. He's a junior. He wears number 9. And number 12 is the right side hitter. That is John Carl, and John Carl is a junior. So it's 2022, and the Collinsville Kahawks finally have a boys basketball team. Boys volleyball team. Boys volleyball started as an IHSA sport all the way back in 1992. And the first state champ was Richards High School out of Oak Lawn. They had a perfect 41-0 record that year. So that's how everything got started. The first entrance into this area in boys volleyball was O'Fallon. They started in 2007. And Edwardsville, they came along in 2009. Belleville East came along, Belleville West came along, all in about 2015, and then Alton and East St. Louis joined the mix, and Granite City, no longer in the Southwestern Conference, but they came along the mix as well, and now Collinsville finally rounds out the Southwestern Conference here, and we finally have ourselves a boys volleyball team. And Collinsville is on the left side of your screen. They're dressed in white. Numbers are in purple. The word Kahok's written across the backs of their jerseys. And the Crusaders, they're in the all navy blue uniforms, very dark blue. They have white numbers. And their libero is wearing a gold jersey. So the little gold and navy blue, kind of like the Althoff Crusaders here in this area. And Joey Rauch, he is wearing the purple jersey, but right now he's standing over in front of his bench as we check the lineups for both of these teams, and he is now checked in, and we are about ready to go. JV team won here in 2 sets. Varsity team trying to do the same in their very first ever match, and the very first service belongs to Adam Reiniger, the sophomore soccer sensation for Collinsville this year. He's on the volleyball team as well. He is ready to go back behind the line, and as soon as he gets the whistle, we can go ahead and go. And there it is. Reiniger sends it over the net, over into the far side corner where it's picked up over there by Eggemeyer. You're going to have to give me some time to get used to all these names and numbers, folks. I'm finally used to girls volleyball. And there you go. First point belongs to Josh Zagorski. Have to write that down for prosperity here. First point ever in Kahok volleyball history belongs to Zagorski, and Reiniger sends another one across. It's picked up by the libero. That is Seibel, and then it goes out of bounds, and Collinsville has the first 2 points in this contest and take a quick 2-0 lead, and that means that young Mr. Reiniger will go back to serve it up once again. Reiniger back behind the line, comes into your screen and sends it over, and we're underway once again. A send over by the Crusaders. Now a setup by Collinsville over on the far side, and a big kill shot over there once again by Josh Zagorski. And Zagorski now with a couple of kills in this game, and Collinsville leads quickly 3-0. They have yet to let the Crusaders of Saxony Lutheran High School serve the ball yet. Adam Reiniger is doing all the serving right now. This is his 4th one in a row. And he'll send it over once again. The libero picks it up. That's Sieb. And then it's sent over by the Crusaders. Set up once again by Collinsville. This time it's going to go backwards, and a one-hand shot over by John Carl. And Saxony Lutheran is finally on the board, a 3-1 contest. So Reiniger with 4 straight serves to start off with until that was broken. 3 points. And back to serve it up is Caden Meyer for Saxony. Collinsville picks it up over on the far side once again. That's Carl. He'll send it over on the 3rd and last try. And then Lutheran, they'll try to send it over. They do so. It's picked up by Rock and then set up right in the middle, and nobody there. Elijah Davison exploited a wide open middle, and he made them pay 4-1 in favor of Collinsville. Cahoks bring in their first substitution. That is Carter Hollis. He is a sophomore. He wears number 3 on his back, and Collinsville back to action here, and here is Josh Zagorski, the senior, to serve it up for the Kahawks. Collinsville leads 3-1. Picked up into the backcourt by Eggemeyer. Pushed across and then picked up once again by Zagorski. Sent back over by Carl, and the Crusaders pick it up. They'll have to send it back over on the 3rd one. They do. Rock picks it up. And then set up by Reiniger. Reiniger over on the far side to Hollis. They get it over, and an answer by Saxony. And Collinsville pushes it over once again. This time Reiniger does it on the very first try. Sent back into the middle. Reiniger saves it. And then a little bit of a miscommunication by Elijah Davison and Joey Rauch, and they kind of ran into each other, and that allows the ball to fall in. 4-2 Collinsville with the lead. Here is Dalton France. France had 5 kills and 2 blocks in this team's first ever win on Saturday. And he serves one over, and a nice job picking it up by Collinsville. And they'll get it over on a shot by Carl. Now back up to the front of the net. Popped up. Collinsville trying to set it up. They do. Backwards. And again, a little miscommunication there because Zagorski ended up all over the back of Davidson, his own player, his own teammate. And that turned into a little bit of trouble. 4-3. Collinsville still retains the lead. Another serve coming up here from Dalton France. France gets it across the net. Picked up there by Zagorski. Set up for Carl. Carl sends it across. And right before it hits the sideline, it finds a little empty spot there as it died right at the last moment. And Collinsville back up front by 2 at 5-3. Back to serve it up, Elijah Davidson. He's the middle blocker. He's a junior for Collinsville. He'll scoot all the way over to the far side of the corner of the court. Sends up a pretty good shot. Picked up over there by the Crusaders. They send it back over. And here is Zagorski. A setup over here for Carl. Carl gets it down, and Collinsville back to that original 3-point lead. They now lead 6-3 to the Kahawks. Another serve coming up here for Davidson. Davidson right in front of Collinsville's girls volleyball head coach, Katie McCarthy. She's one of the line judges here in this boys varsity game. I was going to ask her if she wanted to join me for a little color commentary. That one's out of bounds, so point belongs to the Crusaders. But she's a little busy, so I got some feelers out there, and maybe by the time we do our next boys volleyball game, we'll have that part figured out. Kind of hard to find somebody to talk about boys volleyball when boys volleyball has never been a thing here. Back to serve it up is Luke Eggemeyer. 6 kills, 5 blocks, and 2 aces in the win over Borgia. That one goes all the way up and hits the basketball net, but it stays in play, and they send it back over, and once again, Eggemeyer picks it up. Moves it over here to the side. Slap across, try by, and it ends up being a net ball called against Collinsville, so that was a nice job there by Wade Eggemeyer. And back to serve it up once again is Luke Eggemeyer, the younger of the two Eggemeyer boys. Rauch up front. Carl trying to send it over, but he's sent it to the net. We're tied at 6. So the Kahawks had a 3-0 lead. Saxony has climbed back into this one, and now we're tied at 6 apiece. Luke Eggemeyer sends another one into the backcourt. It's picked up and set up and sent across there by Zagorski. Picked up into the backcourt by Meyer, and then finally sent across by the libero Seibel. And then Collinsville sends it back across. Picked up once again by the Crusaders. They send it over here to the near side. Blocked up front by Collinsville. Stays up in the air. And one more try here for Saxony to get the ball over, and it's blocked out. And Collinsville will pick up the point and go back in front 7-6. Junior Luke Geisen checks into the game for the first time tonight. And he'll come back to serve as Collinsville has a 1-point lead. 7-6 in favor of the Kahawks. Geisen, he's ready to go on the whistle, and here is that serve. Comes right across, picked up by the libero Seibel, and moved up front, and then sent a little bit too far. That was a nice solid hit there by Landon Oaks. 7 kills, 1 block, and 1 ace in their win over St. Francis Borgia on Saturday, but that was a little too strong. Collinsville back out front by 2. Next serve by Geisen on the way. Gets it across the net. Another nice pickup by Seibel. And then it's popped up front. They have to get it across. That one's going out of bounds. Besides that, it hit the little candy cane guide antenna over there on the side of the net in front of the judge on the ladder. And Collinsville goes back out to their original 3-point lead. Geisen serves it up again. Nice solid shot down the middle picked up by Seibel. And then Saxony Lutheran tries to get it across. They do, right off of the hands of the man in the middle there, Jacob Zagorski, and then it kind of fell down, and nothing Collinsville could do about it at that point. 9-7, Kahawks with the lead. Back to serve, Noah Smith, picked up by Rauch. Moved over onto the side, Reiniger sends it across, and it goes off of the hands backwards. Point belongs to the Kahawks. They're back up by the original 3 points at 10-7. Matthew Falby checks back into the game for the Kahawks. Originally was a starter. Now he's back in there to serve up another one as Collinsville leads by 3. Into the middle it goes. Picked up, sent over. Now a setup over, and that ball ends up going out of bounds. Point belongs to the Crusaders, so they'll serve it up, trailing by 2, 10-8. Landon Oaks sends it. Picked up on the far sideline by Zagorski. Here is Reiniger trying to kill it. It's picked up over there by the Crusaders, and they'll send it back across on a hit by Meyer. Collinsville trying to set it up. Here's Reiniger once again. He does send it up, and it is picked up again by Eggemeyer. Now back over here to the near side, and into the backcourt it goes, and off of the hands of Joey Rauch and out of bounds backwards, and it's 10-9. Collinsville leads by 1 once again. Another serve coming up for Oaks. And once again, it's picked up by Zagorski. Moved it over. Zagorski tries to get it back. He does. He gets it over. And now a setup and a little bit of a carry and a net violation that the line judge says by Saxony, so Collinsville back up front by 2. Adam Reiniger, who got us all started with the serves. Well, he's going to give that one up, and now it's going to be Joey Rauch. Kahok's up by 2. In case you're not familiar with it, you have to win by 2. And the first team to 25, usually the winner, but again, you have to win by 2. So if it ends up being 25 or 24-24 and the team gets that 25th point, nope, they have to get a 26th. Collinsville picks up another point and stake themselves back out to their original 3-point lead. Rauch once again. He delivers, and it's out. A little bit too far. 12-10. Neither team has called a timeout thus far. And back to serve, it is Wade Eggemeyer, the senior. He serves, picked up by Zagorski on the far side sideline. Going to set it right back up to Zagorski. He finger touches it over, and it's sent back over on the first shot by the Crusaders. Another send over, and this one is going to belong to Saxony, as Collinsville was guilty of a net violation. They said that Elijah Davison went too far into the net. So a 1-point lead once again by Collinsville. Here's Eggemeyer's next serve. Picked up into the middle, and that's pushed up by Falby and set up for Reiniger. Reiniger with a hard, strong shot right off of the shin of Wade Eggemeyer, and Collinsville gets that point right back. And now Reiniger will go back to serve. First server in the history of the Kahok boys volleyball program. Adam Reiniger sends a nice little spinning ball across. Picked up, and Saxony sends it back across. Reiniger digs it up, and Rauch. He sends it back over, hits the bottom of the scoreboard. Got it over, did Carl, though. And then a kill time by Saxony. And I was wondering for a minute if Luke Eggemeyer's shot was going to find a place to call home, and it did, but only after it touched a couple of body parts. So a 1-point game once again. Here is Caden Meyer back to serve. He had 18 assists in that win the other night for Saxony Lutheran. That's out of bounds, and Collinsville back up front by 2. 18 assists, 8 kills, and 1 block did Meyer. Next time I do a Kahok volleyball game, I'll be able to spout out some stats about our boys, too. But can't do that with their very first game. Here's Josh Zagorski with a serve. It's picked up on the near sideline and set up in the middle. Nice dig over there by Rauch, and then sent over to the far side for Hollis. Hollis gets it across. Now the Crusaders trying to send it over. They do so. Reiniger sets it up. Rauch keeps it alive, but that ball spins as once again, a little miscommunication there. Rauch and Davidson run into each other in the middle of the court. And it's a 1-point game once again. Here is Dalton France. France sends it over, picked up by Zagorski. Reiniger sets it up for Carl. Carl gets it back over. And then Eggemeyer sends it across. Popped up for the Kahawks. Reiniger sends it back into the corner, and that's a little bit too far. We have some question about that one? No? Okay, they give that point to Collinsville, but why are they serving then? Yep, that's what they said. Point belongs to Collinsville. Saxony doesn't understand why. Quite frankly, neither do I. At any rate, Collinsville gets the point, and they get the ball, and back to serve is Elijah Davison. Davidson sends it across. Picked up. And sent over by Meyer. Zagorski to Reiniger to Carl. Carl sends it right through some arms up front, and then it's off of the hands of Meyer right in the middle. Tell you what, Landon Oaks was right up front, threw his hands up in the air, but that shot from Carl went right through his arms, and then I think that kind of caught their player off guard. So Collinsville back up to their original 3-point lead, 16-13. Another serve by Davidson. Have to be dug out low. They do so. Collinsville picks that one up and sends it back across. And the return sender was Luke Eggemeyer, and he sent that over with some velocity on it. 16-14. Collinsville up by 2. Here is Luke Eggemeyer, the sophomore for the Crusaders. Jackson, Missouri, just a little bit north of Cape Girardeau. Over onto the front, and Nicely done there by Josh Zagorski. Luke Geisen will check back into the game for Collinsville. He'll come in to serve. Kahawks back up by 3 once again, 17-14. They've had a 3-point lead a couple of times. Trying to extend that to 4. Here is Geisen's serve. Nice and straight, picked up into the backcourt, and Saxony sends it over. Zagorski up front. Geisen sends it backwards to Reiniger. Off some hands up front, kept alive by Saxony. They have to get it over, and they can. It teeters on the top of that net for a couple of seconds, and Collinsville has a 4-point lead for the first time in this game. 18-14. Luke Geisen, the junior, back to serve it up again. He does. Picked up in the middle. Moved up front. They just move it over on the second shot, trying to catch Collinsville off guard. And then a kill shot. That's going to go out of bounds. And Collinsville will pick up the next point. And they'll hit 19. We have our first timeout on the court, so we'll step aside for our first timeout. We're back in just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
In Collinsville, call Scott Allen at 618-346-1500.
Drink it in. Powerful, vibrant, nutrient-rich fuel for healthy, active, experience-rich lives. So you can be your best self, live your best life, and rule the day.
Back here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, Collinsville leads 19-14 in the very first match ever for boys volleyball here at Collinsville High School. And we're back underway. Here is Rauch, sends it up front. Geisen sets it up on the far side, and Carter Hollis tries to send it over, and he does so. Collinsville hits the elusive 20-point mark first. They have a 6-point lead due to Kahawks. They have to get to 25 to win, as long as they win by 2 or more. Another serve coming up by Luke Geisen. Geisen sends it across, picked up by the libero Seibel, and now moved over, and on the far side sideline, Smith gets it over. Collinsville sets it up, Rauch, and gets it over to Zagorski. Picked up into the backcourt by the Crusaders, and they find an empty spot in the back, and they'll pick up that point, will the Crusaders, and make it 20-15. And the serve now will belong to Saxony Lutheran High School. Noah Smith, the junior, back to serve it up for the Crusaders. Sends it across. Rauch in the middle, picks it up. Geisen saves it over to Reiniger. Reiniger across court, but it's a little bit too far. Reiniger's got the extra adrenaline pumping. He's knocked 2 out of bounds from the floor and 1 out of bounds from service. So he's got a little extra juice flowing through the veins right now. 4-point lead for Collinsville. Next serve by the Crusaders. Comes into the middle. Rauch picks it up. Geisen sets it up for Reiniger. Reiniger just touches it across this time. And then the Crusaders return volley, but they return it right into the net. Collinsville up 21-16. Hollis checks out of the game. Falby comes back in, and he'll head back to serve. Got all 3 of our camera guys here, man. Hal Brooks is here, and Paz is here, and Gurley's here. There's not going to be a lack of pictures, that's for sure. Point belongs to the Crusaders. 21-17 Collinsville. Picked up by Rauch in the middle. And then Geisen sends it over to the side for Zagorski, but he mishit it and hits the bottom of the net. All of a sudden it's 21-18. The original 3-point lead still intact, but the 6-point lead that Collinsville just had has been cut in half. Another serve by Saxony. That one goes out of bounds. That's an easy point. 22-18 in favor of Collinsville. And it'll be the libero, Joey Rauch, the junior, back to serve. He sends it over. Picked up by Seibel, the libero, moved over to the near side and shoved across. And Rauch picks it up once again. Geisen sets it up for Zagorski. Down it goes. That was almost in the no-nos on Noah Smith. That ball bounced off the floor and went right through his legs, 23-18 in favor of Collinsville. Kahok's 2 points away from winning the very first ever match. Here is Rauch again. He'll send a soft one over. It's picked up by Seibel and then moved over to the near side, sent across. Rauch picks it up again, and then Geisen sets it up near side for Reiniger. Reiniger pokes it across. Once again, Seibel takes care of it, and then back over to the near side, and the spot that was open right in the middle, and Rauch couldn't get there in time. 23-19, Collinsville leads by 4. Here is Wade Eggemeyer. Eggemeyer back to serve for the Crusaders. He does so, and it's picked up right in the middle by Falby. For Geisen, for Zagorski, and Zagorski in midair saw that spot open up, took advantage of it, and Collinsville 1 point away from picking up this first match. The guy who started it all, Adam Reiniger, he started the first serve in Collinsville history. He could be the last to serve for the first win. Reiniger sends it across. Pushed to the side and saved over there. And now Saxony, they don't know what to do with it. Collinsville wins the very first ever match in Kahok volleyball boys history, 25-19. Set number 2 coming up here in just a moment. Can Collinsville close it out in a 2-game sweep? We'll all find out together, and we'll do that here in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network.
Lakeside Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside's all-star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today at 618-344-2800 or 314-241-5253 or online at lakesideroofing.com. Lakeside Roofing, celebrating 50 years of serving the metro area. Choose experience, choose Lakeside. Having problems keeping your ride on the road? Roadman Automotive in Collinsville can help you keep your ride rolling. Roadman Automotive offers everything from diagnostic tests when that check engine light comes on to tune-ups, alignments, brake and suspension work, and more. Oil changes at Roadman Automotive start at just $35. Roadman Automotive is open from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday and is located at 936 St. Louis Road in Collinsville. Check out the Roadman Automotive Facebook page for daily specials. Call Roadman Automotive at 618-223-1878 online at roadmanautomotivecollinsville.com. Roadman Automotive. Keep your ride on the road with Roadman Automotive. Got vinyl? Rich's Record Emporium on Main Street in Collinsville can take care of all of your vinyl needs and more. You can peruse through thousands of records, from country to hard-to-find jazz. And classic rock, it's always in stock at Rich's Record Emporium. Used vinyl by the hundreds, plus new releases by new artists as well as reissues by classic artists. Don't forget to check out the audio room at Rich's Record Emporium. There, you can test out all the latest in audio gear, from top-of-the-line speakers to the latest in new turntables, plus amps, streamers, and all of the accessories like needles, belts, and more. While you're there, check out the music-related wall art, as well as t-shirts, record cleaners, and so much more. Plus, if you can't find it at Rich's, they will do their best to find it for you. Come check out Collinsville's only record store, Rich's Record Emporium, 131 West Main Street in beautiful uptown Collinsville, 618-795-1333, online, richesrecordemporium.com.
Usually the right headset helps. Got another one up here for the post-game show. All right, the Richard's Record Emporium commercial just played. They want me to remind you that if you go into Rich's, you'll get 5% off if you mention that you saw their commercial on the Kahok Sports Network. That's 5% off of anything that you need there. They have albums, any kind, man. You got rock and roll, you got country, you got jazz, you got blues, you got pretty much every genre they have. Cleaning equipment for your said albums, plus they have listening equipment for your albums, speakers and turntables and receivers and all kinds of stuff. So 5% off if you go in and mention that you saw this ad on the Kahok Sports Network. They'll take care of you at Rich's Record Emporium. All right, Collinsville wins the first match 25-19. Made a little history there with their very first win in their very first game. And now we're set for match number 2. Collinsville will try to close it out here. Saxony Lutheran, they'll try to pick up a win here and try to force a third and decisive set in this first ever matchup for Collinsville. We're underway in match number 2. And a nice job there. Collinsville sends it across as we have Tyrone Ely into the game now. Ely was a member of the JV boys basketball team. So we got a couple of basketball players and, well, we got one basketball player, a soccer player, and a couple of hockey players. Other than that, I don't know if any of these boys have ever played a sport for Collinsville or not. So basically that was a washed out point. That one didn't count for some reason or another. So we're back to 0-0. Collinsville with it. Here is Reiniger with a setup over on the far side for Zagorski, and that one is down on the other side of the net. A net violation they're going to call anyway against Lutheran. So a 1-0 lead here for Collinsville, and Reiniger will get the first serve in the second set started here for Collinsville. He had the first one and the last one for the Kahawks in that first win. There's a nice little dump over by Elijah Davison. He wasn't going to try to set anything up. He said, it's coming to me. I'm sending it right back to you. 2-0 in favor of Collinsville. Reiniger back to serve once again. Does so. Picked up by the libero all the way in the back. That is Seibel. Moved up front and then shoved over into the corner. Nicely done there by Luke Eggemeyer. He saw that the back corner was vacated, so why not send it there as long as you can get over everybody's heads and arms. That'll work. 2-1 in favor of Collinsville. Here is Dalton France back to serve it up for Saxony. He does so, picked up into the middle by Collinsville's libero Rauch. Set up by Reiniger and a kill shot over in the other corner by Josh Zagorski. Zagorski has already had a few kills in this matchup. He scored the very first point in Kahok boys volleyball history, so we'll mark that in the history books. Collinsville up 3-1, and for his efforts, Josh Zagorski gets to go back to serve. He does. Into the net. First time we've seen that by Collinsville here tonight. I think Saxony did it just once. And now back to serve it up for the Crusaders. Here is Luke Eggemeyer. Eggemeyer sends it over to the sideline. Picked up over there, and Reiniger sends it up, and there's nobody behind him. He thought that he thought that Tyrone Ely was supposed to be behind him, and Tyrone was on the other side of the court. 3-3. Saxony tied the first match up a couple of times, but Collinsville never trailed in that first match. And Eggemeyer ready to serve it up once again to give his team their first lead here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. At least that's the try here. Eggemeyer picks up the return volley. It's set up here for Saxony, and they get it in, and there is the first lead for the Crusaders here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, 4-3. Eggemeyer serves it up again. Rauch picks it up, and it's set up by Reiniger. He sends it over to Ely. Ely gets it across, and the Crusaders send it into the net. 4-4. Jacob Zagorski checks back in. He'll take the place of the libero Joey Rauch. They don't have to check in. If it's a libero, you can straight up swap. Here is Seibel after the first hit, and they send it over to the Crusaders. Collinsville setting it up. Here is a try, and nice save there by the Kahawks. They send it over, barely hits the net, and then it goes back in the back for Zagorski. Reiniger sets it back up for Zagorski. He sends a screamer right into the middle of the court, and that has ended up off of the hands of Luke Eggemeyer and straight out of bounds. Almost hit the line judge over here in the near side corner at the right side of your screen. So Collinsville back up by 1. Served by Davidson. He'll send it across. Picked up by Eggemeyer to Seibel. Seibel gets it up front, and the Crusaders get it over. Reiniger sets it up for Ely. Ely almost landed out of bounds on that one. And a final try by Seibel. He gets it across. Zagorski up to Reiniger. Over to Ely. Ely sends it over. Reiniger is sending it just a little bit too far behind Ely. There's a nice double block up front. Ely and Jacob Zagorski both up there for the block, and Kahawks, all of them liked that one. 6-4 in favor of Collinsville. Davidson serves up another for the Kahawks. Barely gets across the net. Seibel digs it out of there and sends it back over as he does so. And now over onto the far side, that is Carl. He'll send it over. And a setup by Meyer over to Zagorski, and Zagorski couldn't handle it. 6-5. Collinsville leads by 1. Back to serve is Noah Smith now for Saxony. He sends it over, popped into the middle. Zagorski sends it up front. Reiniger for Carl. Carl sends it into the back corner. And it's saved there by Seibel. Now it's sent over by Meyer. Meyer sends it over out of bounds, though, and Collinsville will go back up by 2. Luke Geisen will check back into the game now. He'll take the place of Ely. I don't have any heights on either one of these rosters. I know Ely's a big, tall kid, though. Luke Geisen back to serve it up for the Kahawks. Seibel picks it up to Meyer. Meyer just sends it across instead of setting it up. Carl sets it up for Reiniger. Reiniger down the line, off a hand, backwards, and out of bounds. Kahawks back up by 3 again. That's been their MO here today, up by 3. Geisen ready to deliver another serve. He does. Picked up by Eggemeyer to Meyer and then sent over on the second try, but it was a net violation, and they're going to say that Caden Meyer lifted the ball over the net instead of hitting the ball over the net, so give the point to Collinsville. Kahawks up by 4. Speaking of 4, number 4, Geisen. He serves. He does so into the back. That's out. 9-6. Got some girls soccer going on across the way. Matter of fact, if we didn't have boys volleyball to do this year, we'd be over at Kahok Stadium doing the girls soccer matchup right now. Into the back it goes. That's out of bounds as well. So 2 balls hit too far for Collinsville. Back to a 2-point lead for the Kahawks. In the middle, picked up by Rauch. Geisen sets it up for Carl. Carl on the near side hits it into the net. 1-point game. We have girls soccer on the schedule, or excuse me, girls softball on the schedule for you tomorrow as Freeburg comes to town, but we'll see if the weather has other ideas. It's been raining all day. Started raining last night about 10 o'clock, and it's pretty saturated out there right now. We know that the field is covered, but all depends on the outfield being exposed like it is. If there's any standing water, that would be a no-no. Good volley going on here between the two teams. Sent across by Saxony. Here is Zagorski, sets it up for Geisen, back to Zagorski, and that one's in. Zagorski has a nice, strong kill shot. And it's 10-8 in favor of Collinsville. These two teams don't call a lot of timeouts, do they? I think we had 2 in the first matchup, and one of them came when it was a 1-point game at the very end. That one's out of bounds. John Carl would like to have that one back. Matthew Falby ready to check back in. He'll take the place of Carl. 1-point lead here for Collinsville. 10-9 is the score. And the serve coming up for Wade Eggemeyer. Geisen sends it to Reiniger. Reiniger into the backcourt. That's in. Spot was vacated over there. Lady Kahawks, by the way, playing Highland tonight over at Kahawk Stadium in soccer. Looking for their first win of the year. A little struggle out of the gates there for the Lady Kahawks. Here is Joey Rauch, the junior. He'll send the ball across, and it's picked up and then sent over. Rolls right across the net. Nice save over there by Zagorski. He'll get it back from Geisen and then miss-hit it. 11-10. Collinsville leads by 1. Meyer back to serve it up now for Saxony. He does, and it's picked up and shoved up front. Geisen to Zagorski, and a nice save there by Collinsville. Saxony tries to send it back over. They do, and it's sent right back over by Collinsville. Geisen sets it up again for Rauch, who sets up Reiniger. Reiniger off some hands up front. Saved back there by Saxony, but they can't get the reverse send-over off of the hands of Luke Eggemeyer. It ends up going into the net, and Collinsville back up by 2. Here is Adam Reiniger for Collinsville. Reiniger sends the ball across. It's picked up over there by Smith. Now Smith is going to get it back. He has to get it over. He does so. And Collinsville sets it up. Here is Reiniger for Zagorski into the corner. That one's out. Boy, well, I tell you what, just barely. Oh, no, they're going to call a net violation. They're going to call a net violation on that one against Saxony, and Collinsville gets the point anyway at 13-10. Another serve coming up for Reiniger. Reiniger sends the ball across, picked up by Seibel, and then moved over to the far side off of a couple of hands up front and out of bounds. And that's off of the Kahok player, so point belongs to Saxony, 13-11 in favor of Collinsville. Dalton France back to serve. France right in the middle to Rauch. Rauch. Reiniger setting it up for Ely. Ely just with a little soft touch. Now a move up front. Meyer sends it over for Saxony on the second shot. Here is Reiniger setting it up on the far side for Rauch. He'll try cross corner. Picked up back there by France. Moved over to this side. And then a nice job on the cross corner pass or shot there by Landon Oaks. And it's a 1-point game once again. Collinsville leading by that 1 point. Another serve coming up for France. He'll pop it up, send it across. That is picked up by Falby. Set up, and Reiniger. He pushes it, but it's blocked, and it's blocked out of bounds. Nice block there by Luke Eggemeyer, but so hard that it hit off his hands and went right out of bounds. Timeout on the floor. We will step aside as well, and we'll be back here in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network.
Looking to buy a new home or sell your current home? Trust the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty with all of your real estate needs. The real estate market is hot right now, and you can trust the years of experience the Blaylock Group brings to the table. The Blaylock Group can help you find your dream home, or they can help you get top dollar for your current home. Give Peyton or Emily Blaylock a call today at the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty, 618-780-4622. That's 618-780-4622. The Blaylock Group of eXp Realty.
Back at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. Collinsville up by 2. Saxony trying to pick up a win here to force a third tie-breaking set. Collinsville trying to end it in 2. Here is a pickup by Zagorski. Reiniger sets it up, and it's sent over by Davidson. And the Kahawks managed to sneak a point out of that. And now Josh Zagorski back to serve it up here for Collinsville. He does. Picked up into the backcourt by Eggemeyer and moved up front. And now a send over, but that's out of bounds as it goes right into the ankles of Katie McCarthy over there. She was trying to not get hit by the ball and raise the flag at the same time. Another serve coming up here for Zagorski. That's into the net. You hate those unforced errors. Those are easy points for the opposition. Here's Luke Eggemeyer back to serve for Saxony. He does so. Picked up by Zagorski to Reiniger. Over onto the far side for Carl. He sends it down and heads toward the bench belonging to Saxony, but they keep it in. Nice save over there by Zagorski. Over to Carl. Carl, that's out. Just a little bit too far. (16-14) in favor of Collinsville. This one's getting kind of late. Here is Eggemeyer with another serve. That one just barely makes it over. Picked up by Zagorski. Reiniger sets it up for Ely. Ely, nice little soft touch. Gets it over, but a nice pickup on the other side by the Crusaders. Reiniger sends it over. Nobody in that corner. He thought he could exploit it, but Eggemeyer got there in time. And Collinsville couldn't pick the ball up and get some air underneath it to send it back over. And it's now a 1-point contest at 16-15. Luke Eggemeyer back to serve it up once again. He does so. Picked up by Carl, way up in the air. Reiniger sends it up front. Ely's going to have to hit it from out of bounds and get it over. He does. Seibel picks it up and back over to this side now, and a strong hit there and off of a couple of hands up front by Landon Oaks, and we are tied at 16. Egemeyer back to serve once again. Picked up by Rauch. Reiniger for Ely. Ely sends it over. Backwards it goes. Collinsville back up front by 1. Hawks have only trailed once so far here tonight, 4-3 early in this game, in this set. They did not trail at all in that first set, which Collinsville won 25-19. And a service coming up here for Tyrone Ely. Nope, there he was just going to go back and get the ball. Elijah Davidson will serve it up for Collinsville. Far side of the court, across it goes. Seibel couldn't handle it off of his hands. It spun backwards, and Collinsville now out front 18-16. So once again, Davidson will serve. He does. Seibel picks it up easier this time, and then it's sent over, and that was a nice kill there. Once again by Oaks. So back to the serve for the Crusaders. And here is Noah Smith. Smith picked up by Rauch. Reiniger sets it up for Zagorski. Zagorski sends it over, and Seibel takes care of it. And then it's sent over once again, and once again it's by Oaks, and Oaks is doing everything he can to get his team back into this. We are tied 18-18. Noah Smith has one more serve coming his way. He delivers. Zagorski to Reiniger, over to Carl. Carl with a soft touch, and everybody dives for it. Nice save over there by Saxony, and then it's sent across by the libero Seibel. And here is Ely. Ely, that ball's a little bit too far. That's out of bounds, and the second lead of the night for the Crusaders. It comes late in this second set, 19-18. Another serve. That one's going out. We're tied. Well, you hate to see that if you're the Crusaders after you just take a lead and then you just kind of give that point right back. Geisen will come in. He'll take the place of Ely, and Luke will come back to serve. 19-19. Geisen sends it across. Seibel knocks it straight down, but his teammates picked him up, and there's Oaks once again. And he continues just to stay up front here on this near side sideline, but now he's going to have to go back and serve. So the rotation will take him away from the front of the net, 20-19, in favor of Saxony. Oaks sends it over, set up Geisen for Carl. Carl, cross court, finds an opening, 20-20. Now they're going to take Oaks out. I don't even know if I would have done that. That guy got you about 4 or 5 points here. All right. Here is John Carl. Carl. Here's the whistle. Serves. Picked up by Egemeyer. And up front for Meyer into the net. Excuse me, that was France into the net. Collinsville back up front by 1, 21-20. John Carl, the junior, ready for another serve for Collinsville. He sends it over barely across the net, picked up into the backcourt by Noah Smith. Now moved over to this side, and a little soft one put in there by Dalton France, and we are knotted now at 21. Wade Egemeyer will go back to serve it up now for Saxony. He does. Rauch, he picks it up in the middle. Geisen sets it up. Oh, what a shot there by Zagorski. That was so hard that Seibel got a piece of a finger on it, and then it just kept on going the other way. Nobody's chatting on the old chat box here on this live feed, are there? I keep on waiting for somebody to say something about the very first game. We have a timeout in the very first matchup, so we'll take a break, and we'll come back here in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network.
Just because we're adults doesn't mean we don't have toys, am I right? If your adult toys consist of boats, campers, or RVs, then you need to call the GASA storage team of professionals. Winter weather in the Midwest can be quite harsh, and finding a place to properly store those expensive toys for winter can be just as rough as a Midwest winter. That's where the GASA storage team comes in, with outdoor self-storage and covered storage for your toys. They even have tractor-trailer parking, conveniently located at Horseshoe Lake Road and 111 in Pontoon Beach. GASA Storage, for the safe storage of all of your toys. Contact the GASA Storage team, gasastorage@gmail.com, or call today, GASA Storage Team, 618-797-6100.
Welcome back to Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. Off some hands on the other side, and Collinsville 2 points away from wrapping up a 2-set sweep of the Saxony Lutheran High School Crusaders. Back to serve is Rauch. He does. Picked up by Seibel. He sends it all the way over on the first try. Collinsville trying to set it up. They do so over here on the near side for Reiniger. He found the empty spot back in the corner, and the Kahawks 1 win away from picking up their very first ever match win against anyone, because, this is the very first match win. There is a timeout on the floor. We'll take a real quick timeout. Not much. We don't want to miss anything, so just a 30-second timeout. Back in a moment on the Kahawk Sports Network.
Are the lights on your dashboard putting on a show? Bring it to Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Mike's Automotive is also a T3 certified tire center. They can handle all of the basics like oil changes and tune-ups, and the not-so-basics like complete engine rebuilds. Mike's Automotive also has 24-hour towing and has 3 locations: Millstadt, St. Louis, and in Collinsville. The Collinsville location is at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call 345-0611, online at mikesautomotive.net and Mike's Automotive on Facebook.
Back at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, Collinsville at game point here, 24-21. Here comes a serve by Rauch. He serves it over onto the near side sideline. Popped up, and no one talked to each other, and Collinsville wins 25-21 in set number 2. They sweep the Crusaders of Saxony Lutheran High School, and the Kahawks win their very first match, 2-0 over the Crusaders, and congratulations to Mike Nichols and all of the Collinsville Kahawk volleyballers here tonight. We are due, if they remember, to let her know that Jennifer Stroot, one of the assistant coaches here for the boys volleyball team, is supposed to come up and talk to us on the pregame show or on the postgame show. And what do you know? Here she comes right now, so we're not going to waste any time. Welcome in to the Cafe Agape postgame show here on the Kahawk Sports Network, brought to you by Cafe Agape in Collinsville. Celebrating their 10th year this year is Cafe Agape, home of the Kahawk chicken sandwich. Cafe Agape been doing their thing since 2012, offering catering and some of the best home-cooked food in the area. Give Cafe Agape a call at 345-CAFE. That's 345-2233. Jennifer Stroot, first of all, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I saw that on Facebook today, although I haven't wished you happy birthday on Facebook yet. I just kind of zoom through things. Oh, look, it's somebody's birthday. And then I keep on going. All right, so birthday aside, congratulations. That's got to be really cool. The first ever boys varsity volleyball game in the history of the school, and you win the first set, which is already history in itself because you won a set.
Absolutely.
And then you win the match 2-0. So talk about the feelings right now.
Well, the boys are really excited. It's our second year with this group. I could see some nerves on the court. I don't know if you noticed that and the viewers noticed that, but you could tell that the boys were kind of nervous for that first varsity game and excited to be there, but just figuring it all out. So there's a lot of emotions going on. I think for our new boys on JV too, they've never touched a volleyball in their life until about a week and a half ago. So that was pretty exciting to have a win on their part. And then the boys, the varsity, to finish it off with a win. It's cool to make CHS history. And, we're just excited to be a part of it.
Adam Reininger gets the very first serve
Absolutely.
in Kahawk history, and he got the very last serve in the first game. So he served the first one and the last one to pick up that first win. What do you think some of the things going through their minds are?
I think some of them aren't quite sure where they're going to end up position-wise. There's a couple of hitters out there that are trying to get the feel. They want to push past that JV and they want to get to that varsity level, and they really, they're sinking their teeth into it. There's a couple of them out there that they make it look so easy. A couple of the boys don't have to put effort into it. It's so great. And then a couple of the boys are really finding that timing, which is, difficult at first when you're going from outside to middle to right side. We're trying to get a couple of young, tall boys in too. So it's exciting to see the different mix of boys, and I think they're just trying to figure it out as we go.
First point ever was scored by Josh Zagorski. I already like the way he looks.
Oh, yeah. Josh is looking great. He played some club ball this off season, so that was exciting. And if he can stay consistent and change up his shots, we're going to see some pretty good teams this season. I think this was a good start for us. We've never seen this team before. They're from pretty far away. It was the first time that our AD got them in. So that's exciting. But we're going to have some big boys here with Belleville East, Belleville West, all the different big teams that have had teams for 10-plus years. So hopefully he can fine-tune that awesome skill that he has and hit those line shots and those cut shots, because we're definitely going to need him down the line.
Yeah, Saxony, this is their first year playing boys volleyball on the varsity level as well.
Oh, awesome.
They had their very first game Saturday. They won their very first match against St. Francis Borgia. So they win their first match. You guys win your first match. I think everybody's happy. They might not be as happy as you, but
yeah.
Okay, so you were an assistant on the girls' side for a long time.
I was.
How much faster is the boys' side than the girls' side? Do you notice a difference?
Actually I saw that the girls were a little bit faster just because the program was further along. Once you have more fine-tuned volleyball players, you can run quicker balls, quicker sets, things like that. The sheer strength of men versus women is what astounds me. A lot of these boys have never played volleyball or within the last few years, and they can just go up and pound the ball, crush the ball. What's interesting is teaching them the more controlled side, which girls are typically better at, the passing, the setting. So it's interesting seeing the men kind of dabble in those concepts, whereas the blocking and the hitting, they've got it.
Yeah, you guys were a little flummoxed there earlier. You guys kept on running into each other in the court, so later on it seemed like that didn't happen as much. So was that like butterflies, jitters?
Yeah, and some of it's the new boys too. I'd say some of the boys really have only had 4 days of learning the rotations. And you saw Tyrone, he was our middle for JV. We put him in right side. He's a big boy. He's got a big block. He's very athletic. But that timing for middle versus right side, completely different. And the actual lineup of where you stand, things like that. So I think once we get a more solidified lineup and they're more consistent, they know who's to their right, to their left, they're going to know to get out of the way, especially those setters taking charge. Hey, I'm in charge. Move out of my way. That's how it goes.
All right. Well, this is our first game, too. It won't be our last one, so we'll see you down the road. Enjoy the win. Enjoy your birthday.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out. We
Sure.
appreciate it.
All right. No problem. That is Jenny Stroot, one of the assistants here for your Collinsville Kahok boys volleyball team. We'll take a break here on the Cafe Agape post-game show. When we come back, we'll wrap things up, cap things off, and we'll talk about what's ahead. All that and more coming up on the Kahok Sports Network.
Cafe Agape serves up some of the best sandwiches, burgers, pork steaks, meatloaf, fish, and more in Collinsville. And yes, they still cater. Wedding receptions, luncheons, business meetings, and much more. And Cafe Agape is your destination for all of your holiday and party favorites, both main courses as well as delicious sides. Cafe Agape in Collinsville is the only place to pick up a Kahok sandwich or dog and the new Flamin' Kahok sandwich. Cafe Agape, check them out at 703 St. Louis Road. Give them a call at 345-CAFE. That's 345-2233. And don't forget to tell them Stewie sent you.
All Pro Tees in Caseyville is your place for custom apparel and has been for over 20 years now. Why? All Pro Tees can handle any size project, big or small, and they specialize in large group orders. At All Pro Tees, quality is number one on their list of priorities, as is evident by their excellent customer service. Did we mention All Pro Tees has over 20 years of experience? They can even help with fundraisers and event merchandising for your group. So for all of your apparel needs, for civic groups, sports teams, business outings, or even a family reunion, your apparel needs stop at All Pro Tees. All Pro Tees in Caseyville, right across the street from Kahok Stadium. Online at allprotees.com or on Facebook at All Pro Tees. Or call All Pro Tees at 344-2200. The Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org.
Cafe Agape serves up some of the best sandwiches, burgers, pork steaks, meatloaf, fish, and more in Collinsville. And yes, they still cater. Wedding receptions, luncheons, business meetings, and much more. And Cafe Agape is your destination for all of your holiday and party favorites, both main courses as well as delicious sides. Cafe Agape in Collinsville is the only place to pick up a Kahok sandwich or dog and the new Flamin' Kahok sandwich. Cafe Agape, check them out at 703 St. Louis Road. Give them a call at 345-CAFE. That's 345-2233. And don't forget to tell them Stewie sent you.
And once again, we welcome you back into the Cafe Agape post-game show here on the Kahok Sports Network. Collinsville victorious here tonight, 25-19 and 25-21 in varsity action. Kahawks get off onto the right side of history as they win their very first matchup in boys volleyball history. JV won in straight sets as well, 25-7 and 28-6, so it was a clean sweep here tonight by the Collinsville boys volleyball program. First serve, well, that belonged to Adam Reiniger. He served 4 straight, got 3 points when he started off this contest for Collinsville. And Josh Zagorski with the very first point and the first kill of the program's history for the Collinsville Kahawks. And Collinsville, they cruised to that first victory. They won that one 25-19, never trailed in that first set. They did trail 3 times in the second set, but battled back and won by a final score of 25-21. All right, we will be back at you tomorrow. We're scheduled to do some girls softball for you tomorrow from the Collinsville Sports Complex. We'll see if Mother Nature has a change in plans on that as the Lady Cocks get ready to take on the Freeburg Lady Midgets. And a big thank you to Mike Nichols joining us in the pregame program interview and Jennifer Stroot for joining us in the postgame show. Until tomorrow afternoon, my name is Todd Duke. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your evening.